And a good Friday evening, Lyon fans. Welcome to Dicknall Field here in Rock Rapids for Class 2A District 1 football matchup between the Central Lyon George Little Rock Lions as they host the Unity Christian Knights. The Unity Christian Knights coming into tonight's ballgame 4-1 overall on the season. They sit atop of Class 2A District 1 at 2-0, undefeated in the district. The Lions come into tonight 2-3 overall, 1-1 in district play. Obviously losing that game to West Lyon and then getting that redemption last week with a big win over Cherokee, looking to keep the ball rolling here tonight and try and pull themselves even with the Unity Christian Knights and what we expect to be an absolutely epic matchup. If you remember the games from last year, a great regular season game. Come playoff time, we had a big lead at the half, a 2-touchdown lead at the half. Come out in the third quarter, Unity Christian on fire. They held a 2-touchdown lead with 10 minutes to go in the game. The Lions rallied, scored 3 touchdowns in the final 10 minutes to advance out of the second round of the playoffs and head on to that state title game last year. Right now we bring in my partner here tonight, longtime Lion broadcaster, Rich Rosty. Rich, welcome back to Dicknall Field and welcome back to the announcer's booth.
Well, thank you very much, Joel. I really appreciate the invitation to come back here. This is a homecoming for me. I was in broadcasting for 41 years, and it started right here. At that time, it was A.O. Vogue Field, and Dave Ingvelson invited me a part of the broadcast along with Randy Wagmeister, and that started a career that I never had thought about, never dreamed about, but it spanned 41 years. It's taken me all over the United States calling games, being a part of the Central Lyon broadcast for 20 of those years and 20 years with the Sioux Falls Storm, and also a stint with the University of Sioux Falls women's basketball for a couple years and the University of South Dakota Coyotes women's basketball. And that is something that's dear to your heart because you are a Jackrabbit.
Absolutely. I bleed blue and gold.
But anyway, I found out that if you make a mistake during that broadcast between USD and South Dakota State and call the team by the wrong name, there's tendency to be a few calls coming into the station, and I did that one time.
Absolutely. Well, as you said, when you were here, it was A.O. Vogue Field. Now it's A.O. Vogue Sports Complex, Dicknall Field. You got to announce many games for legendary coach Dick Nall. And over those 41 years, Rich, one of those things is as many things that have changed and evolved. When you look out over this football field, there's a lot of things that are still the same.
Oh, there's no doubt about that, Joel. And the thing about it is, going through the rosters, how many of the names are still the same from 41 years ago. And it is mathematically possible, we haven't been able to find out, but it is mathematically possible that there could be a grandson playing in this game whose grandpa was playing in the game in the first one that I did, 41 years ago. But we haven't been able to confirm that. But coming back here and being a part of this, one thing I will say that you have really upgraded the press box from what we had 41 years ago.
Well, absolutely, and we've had some great donors over the years and great supporters of this football program, and that's allowed us to have such beautiful facilities here and always come out here. And one of those things, too, is you see a lot of the turf fields coming in. We still pride ourselves on a grass field and a beautiful grass field at that.
And you look at it, it is domed perfectly, and because this field has had such amazing care over the years, because this is a football town. It always has been. It goes back to the days of Corver when he was not Corver, but I'm trying to think of his name, but Dick Nall always referred to him as being the dean and the father of football coaching here in Central Lyon. But this field has had so much care, and so many great games have been played here. And it just, for me to come back and be a part of this is just a very special event.
Well, it's absolutely a pleasure and an honor to have you alongside of us, Rich, tonight. We're looking forward to an absolutely great game. Unity Christian, you have a little bit of familiarity with them. I do believe your first basketball game was a Unity Christian game, if I remember right.
Yes, it was. I broadcasted the game, and I couldn't understand why the gals would only dribble twice and then pass. I didn't understand why they got 6 fouls. And also didn't understand basically that they had to take the ball out at half court. I had never seen an Iowa high school girls basketball game growing up in Minnesota. The next morning at coffee, the guys genuinely and aggressively pointed out my errors in the broadcast the night before.
Well, Rich, we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to hear from the head coaches in tonight's matchup here tonight, hear what their thoughts on this game is and what it means to each one of them, and hear what they think are the keys to picking up a win here tonight. So when we return to Lyon football here on the Lyon Broadcast Network, we will hear from Coach Curtis Eben, but first we'll take a break, and we will come back and hear from Josh Van Kempen, the head coach of the Unity Knights, when we return to Central Lyon George Little Rock football on the Central Lyon Broadcast Network.
At Frontier Bank, we know you're busy with what really matters. That's why our Big Deal checking account was created to make banking work for you. While you're keeping up with life's daily transactions, your Big Deal checking account is earning you monthly rewards. Competitive rates, refunds on ATM fees, and more, with no minimum balance or monthly service fees required. And you can apply for a Big Deal account from anywhere in less than 10 minutes. Focus on what matters most. Bank with Frontier Bank. See a customer service representative for more information. Member FDIC.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body.
And we'll welcome you back to the pregame show. It's time to talk Unity Christian football with the head coach of the Knights, Josh Van Kempen. Coach, thanks for joining us here today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about your football team. 4-1 on the season. You've had a great start, 2-0 in district play, and your team has really got some things rolling, and it's got to help having a lot of starters return from last year.
Yeah, that definitely helps. We lost, and we had a lot of starters return, but we also lost a lot of production off of last year's team, especially on offense. So coming into the year, we kind of had to figure out who was going to step up. The offense looks fairly similar, but missing some big pieces, so how are we going to tweak that and make guys fit? Our original starting quarterback got hurt in the first game in the first half, so we had to move him to a different position, bring in a new quarterback who was a freshman. So we really, those first few weeks, we found out a lot about our team. We had a couple really close wins. The kids just dug and grounded out. The first week one was just, that was a crazy game. But yeah, the last couple of weeks we've kind of got established a little bit and tried to build some confidence here, and it's been a good start to the year.
Well, obviously, like I said, a 4-1 start, 2-0 in district play, but Class 2A District 1 is always a tough one, and this week it keeps getting tougher. You got to go on the road and play Central Lyon George Little Rock.
Yeah, it's a really good district. Anytime you have both schools from Lyon County in the district, it's going to be tough. They're a very good football team. Maybe besides Rock Valley, this is the best team that we'll have played up to this point. Their record doesn't really show how good they are. They've lost some close games to some really good teams, and we know them. We played them a couple times last year, but they're a very well coached football team. They're disciplined. They definitely don't beat themselves, and they're pretty complete. So this is going to be a big battle for us.
Well, and you talked about playing them a little bit last year. Let's talk about last year. Second round of the playoffs, you had Central Lyon George Little Rock on the ropes there late in the fourth quarter, and your guys got to feel they just kind of let that one slip away. Is there a little bit of redemption in mind there?
Yeah, I was hoping we weren't going to talk about that game, but man, that was a crazy game too, because we kind of felt like we were dead in the water at halftime, being down 2 scores, and our kids came out and just played and kept going and kind of rode some momentum there to go up by 2 scores, and it slipped. And I don't want to take anything away from Central Lyon George Little Rock. They earned the win. Very good football team last year as well, but it was tough to see a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter slip away, and then for it to end that way was really hard for the kids especially. But that's something you kind of keep thinking about, and as much as we tell our kids you got to move on from losses, that's hard for coaches to do too. But that was a tough game. Proud of the effort that our kids had there, and it was that's how playoff football should be. Close games that come down to the end, but it's tough to come out on the losing side of those.
Well, let's talk about this year a little bit more. You've had a chance to look at Central Lyon George Little Rock on tape. You say they're one of the best teams that you've seen up to this point. What do you expect to see from Coach Eben and his Lions?
Well, a lot of number 7. He's really what makes him go, and he's a phenomenal football player. Probably he's one of the best athletes in the area. So he's kind of what makes them go, and he's not all they have. They're big up front. They're physical. They've got a couple athletes on the edge that are pretty dangerous that we got to be aware of as well. But anytime you have a kid like number 7 in there, like Lutmer, you're going to be in a good situation. So we've got to try to find a way to limit him as much as we can, which is a lot easier when you're just drawing it up on paper than when you're actually trying to do it running around on the field. But that's really what they do well. And they don't turn it over. They don't beat themselves. They don't do not a lot of stupid penalties. They just kind of do what they do. Nothing really crazy or fancy, but they're just very good at what they do.
Well, you talk about trying to stop Lutmer defensively. What do you think that you might be able to do offensively where you might be able to get an advantage?
Well, one thing that we haven't done a great job of this year, we're getting better at it, but we've turned the ball over a few times, and that just can't happen. I mean, we can't put the ball in 7's hands more than what's needed. So we've got to make sure that we take care of the football, and we can't shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties. We're going to have to be able to sustain drives. One thing they do well defensively is they really limit the big play, and we're going to have to earn it down the field every single drive, and that's hard to do consistently throughout a whole game against a good team. But we've been working on it. We've been building for it. So we've got to sustain drives, and we can't turn the ball over. Those are going to be the two big things for us. If we're able to do those, we might have a shot there to compete with them. If we turn it over and we consistently go 3 and out, it's probably going to be a long night for us.
Well, Coach, you talked about earlier in the year how you had a few injuries to your quarterback and to some other players and had to move guys around and stuff like that. About halfway through the season here, halfway through District 1 play, how is your team looking with the bumps and bruises?
We're actually in a pretty good spot right now. We missed 2 of our inside linebackers, our starting 2 inside linebackers a couple weeks ago. Excuse me. They're back and rolling. They played last week really well. We've been pretty fortunate up front. We haven't had any big injuries to our O linemen or D linemen. They've been playing well. And then our Jake Van Dong, who was our starting quarterback in the first week, just hurt his thumb on his throwing hand, so he's been playing. He's been starting at receiver and defensive back for us. He just can't squeeze the ball to throw it. So then that's something he'll deal with for the whole year. But he's tough as nails. He plays through everything, and so he's been big for us out there. But other than that, injury-wise, we're about as healthy as we can expect to be at this point in the season.
Tough physical football games, that's what we expect to see tonight between the Knights and the Lions. When it comes down to that, it always comes down to the little things. What are some of the little things that you see that you need to do to try and pull out a win?
Yeah, it definitely does, and all good coaches talk about the details, and you have to do the details right in order to execute well in big games, and they have to be done consistently. For us, offensively, I mentioned the turnovers. That's going to be critical, but the other thing is first downs. We can't be in 2nd and 3rd and long consistently. Central Lyon's just too good at what they do to be in those situations. So first down is going to be really big for us. We got to execute up front, especially. They don't do a ton of crazy things on defense. They're big and physical, and they're fast. So we've got to be able to keep our eyes up, understand where we're going. Our quarterback's got to make sure he's making the right reads. I got to make sure I'm putting him in the right spots offensively. Those are the things that we got to do well there. And then defensively, it's going to come down to angles and tackling. If we can stay in our lanes, not try to do too much, because if we've got guys doing too much, they're going to be out of position. And if we're out of position against Central Lyon and Lutmer, he'll make us pay. He's pretty good. He's pretty athletic. So we've got to make sure we understand our job and just react, go, don't second guess, and we got to tackle well. I think those things will be really big for us tonight.
Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us here today, Coach, and we wish you the best of luck tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
That is the head coach of the Unity Christian Knights, Josh Van Kempen. We'll be back with more of our countdown to kickoff when we return.
After a long day, deciding on dinner can be tough, but a few simple words can make everything better.
Pizza's here!
End your day the right way with pizza and chicken from the carryout and delivery experts at your local Pizza Ranch.
And we welcome you back to the pregame show. It's time to talk Central Lyon George Little Rock football with the head coach of the Lions, Curtis Eben. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Joel.
Coach, let's start things off this week. Let's talk about last week, getting back onto the winning track in district play, a game that we knew we had to win to get the momentum going and get the confidence back in our kids after that first week against West Lyon. I felt they came out, and you can't play a better first quarter than these guys did against Cherokee.
No, really, like you said, I thought our coaches did an outstanding job putting a game plan together, offense and defense, and obviously special teams. That first quarter was a big quarter for us. I start the game off, second play of the game. Reese gets a great interception, takes it all the way back for 6, and puts us up 7-0 to begin with. We played good football in all aspects, but the field position battle was huge for us. We just felt like we played on their side of the field most of that game. So anytime you do that, you're going to have a pretty good outcome. And I really thought our kids played 4 quarters of good football.
Well, and you talk about 4 quarters of good football out there, not just the first teamers and the second teamers, but even the third teamers coming in. You got a big lead. You're able to get the starters out, get them a little rest. But you got to be proud of how those younger guys came in, and we didn't really miss a beat when they came in the second half.
100%. I really was proud of our guys that came in and filled in. It's one of those times that, all these guys deserve to be on the field. And there's no doubt, some kids are gifted a little bit more than others per se, but it doesn't mean that those other guys don't work hard. And, those guys finally got on the field and it was their time. And, those guys put a lot of time in up to this point of the season and have really made us a better football team because of their commitment to our program. And so when there's opportunities for those guys to get in the game late in, that second half pretty much of that game, they went out there and made the most of it and really played good football that second half and, really mistake-free. I thought our offensive line did an extremely good job. Ethan Holford, Ashton Vandenkop, Chase Stevens, Nate Aarons, and Trevor Darren, those guys that came in and played that, really did a nice job of taking control of the line of scrimmage. And then Simon conditioning at quarterback and Dorian Johnson. Boy, I really was impressed with those guys and the effort they gave and, end up scoring 2 touchdowns with that group of guys. And it was really fun to see. And I could definitely tell our sidelines are excited to see that.
Well, it's always good to get a homecoming win there and a big win like that. But in the same aspect as we would with a loss, we put it behind us. We set our focus on this week. And this week, another tough matchup here. We've got a 4-1 team, 2-0 in district play, Unity Christian, coming to Dicknall Field.
Yeah, Unity, again, we saw them twice last year. They played us tough both times. In fact, the playoff game, we were down 2 scores with 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, ended up coming back and getting 3 touchdowns within that time and end up getting the victory in the playoffs. But I tell you what, they're very well coached. They do a lot of little things very well up front, and their skill positions are very talented guys. So obviously, when you're 4-1, there's a reason why you're 4-1, and you got to give them a lot of credit. And tonight we'll have to play very good football to come out the victory.
Well, it seems like every time that we play Unity, like you said, it always becomes a really tough battle. And what is it about their style of play that causes us some trouble?
Well, first of all, you got to look at their defense. Their defense is extremely well coached. They're very disciplined up front. They will play some man. They'll play some zone behind you, so they keep you off your balance of what you can and can't do. And offensively, it's kind of the same thing. They really are run-oriented offense. Again, they dive plays at you, and they'll keep the quarterback around the edge with a lead blocker. So again, there's not a complex offense, but it's a very rigid offense and very well-run offense. And so throughout, watching game tape and stuff, again, they don't rely on big plays. They'll drive down the field and try to just basically take the yards they can. They'll keep punching in the mouth until you stop them. So again, I expect a lot of that tonight from them. I expect a lot of what they have to offer, and they'll bring their best game. They know that they're playing a good football team and us, and so we expect them to bring their best game.
Well, and you talk about being a well-coached, well-disciplined team like they are. What are some things that we're going to try and do where we might be able to grab an advantage?
Defensively, it's all up front. Our front seven, we got to go back to a 4-3 defense. We'll put another guy in the box. But ultimately, we got to control that line of scrimmage. It's going to be a big night for our defensive ends and our defensive tackles. And then once we can control the line of scrimmage, and hopefully they got to pass, and that's what we know our strength is, that pass defense. Last week we had 6 interceptions, I believe, on the night. Cooper had 2 of them. So we feel really good about our pass defense, and we just got to make them one-dimensional. Offensive side of the ball, we got to get our tailback going a little bit more. You'll see a little more of Graham even tonight at tailback, and with Zach then doing the same thing that Zach always does, short passing games. And so if we can, just do a lot of those little things, with a good effort from our special teams, we should have a good night on the football field.
Well, we've talked about it all season long. We've kind of been bitten by the injury bug, but last week against Cherokee, looked like we did pretty well. We were able to get the starters out of the game early and get them a little rest. How are we doing healing up from those bumps and bruises?
Yeah, injury-wise, we're finally the same team that we had in the field last week and the week before. So we're finally getting to a point where we're staying healthy. Hopefully we get some guys, can get Caden back here in a couple weeks yet. If things go well. But, as right now, our guys are playing good football. So, we'll keep those same guys out there. We'll have different personnel packages. But if nothing else, we're building good depth everywhere with our guys. And, and obviously we're playing good football with those same group of guys. So, as a coaching staff, we're excited about the guys that are on the field tonight, and, we expect big things from them.
You and I always talk about doing the little things right, and that's what one of your main focus is. What are some of those little things? What are the keys that we need to take care of tonight to make sure we get a win?
Obviously we got to take care of the football, number one. And then number two, again, we got to play just the little, it's a cliche of football when you say you got to block and you got to tackle. And that's kind of, honestly, that's what we're at in the season. There's no secrets out there. They will have some trick plays, and we'll have to recognize those, and we'll have to be disciplined in our secondary. But besides that, we just got to play solid football, offense, defense, special teams, all 3 aspects. And, weather shouldn't be too much of an issue. Hopefully the field dries out just enough for us to get good gripping, and we can have a good night.
We appreciate your time each and every week, Coach, and wish you the best of luck tonight.
All right, I appreciate your time, Joel. Thanks.
That is the head coach of the Central Lyon George Little Rock Lions, Curtis Eben. We'll be back with more of the pregame show when we return.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
May your holidays sparkle with joy and excitement as the new year is upon us. On behalf of the entire staff of DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, Certified Public Accountants, we want to wish you God's peace and blessings as we reflect on this past year and eagerly anticipate the beginnings of the new year. Our prayer for you is for good health, happiness, and quality time with God's family and friends. Happy New Year from DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, Certified Public Accountants, Rock Rapids and Laverne.
Hey, we welcome you back to Dicknall Field here on a Friday night. Some Friday night football ready for you here tonight as the Central Lyon George Little Rock Lions play host to the Unity Christian Knights. My name is Joel Viss. Alongside me, the Silver Fox, Rich Rusty. Rich, welcome back once again to Dicknall Field. And 41 years ago from your first ever game here calling Central Lyon George Little Rock football. And here you go again. We're about ready for the coin toss.
You know what? 41 years of broadcasting, I still get butterflies before the kickoff. And beautiful night tonight. Field is going to be maybe a little bit soft because of the rain earlier today. They were scheduled to have a mass band performance at halftime, but because of limitations in practice, they're not going to have that tonight. So the field may be a little bit soft, but it's immaculate condition. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays into the game tonight.
Well, and it's one of those things when you have two running teams, usually you'll see the field start to wear out between the hash marks down the middle of the field. And when you have dominant run teams, you really start to chew up that a lot more than if you got the passing squad going.
There's no doubt about that. But you look at Unity Christian coming in, they're pretty balanced in their attack. 600 yards passing, 500 yards of rushing. So they will mix it up quite a bit, but they have a running back that is outstanding in Waringa. And Trevor Waringa, 5'11", 170-pounder, 466 yards of rushing coming into this game tonight. He is going to be deciding for us. But when you have a player like that, that's what really accentuates and allows that passing game to be successful. And that's what the Knights have done this year.
Absolutely. And Waringa has run it for over 100 times on the year for those 400-plus yards, averaging 4 yards a carry. Unity Christian out there has won the toss. They have elected to defer. The Lions have elected to receive, and they will defend the north goal. Lion captains out there, Zach Lutmer, your quarterback, Lyle Moore, your offense and defensive lineman, Rex Van Wy, your linebacker out there, and Cooper Spees, your wide receiver and cornerback.
You talk about quarterbacks for the Lions. Zach Lutmer, only a junior, 6'2", 185-pounder, comes into the ballgame, 444 passing yards, and also has almost 500 yards rushing. So, again, both teams balanced attack. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
And Lutmer, a dual-threat quarterback out there, has the ability to throw, has the ability to take off and run. You really got to keep an eye on Zach when he's coming out of the backfield, when he's rolling around, because he does have that ability. If you got great coverage downfield, he's going to burn you with his legs. Lions will get up, set up to receive here. Going back to receive the kick for Central Lyon George Litterock, Cooper Spees and Taylor Putnam. Back to do the return duties here. Coming on to do the kicking duties for Unity Christian will be Sam Eppinga for the Knights.
Putnam with about a 12-yard kickoff return average for the Lions.
Taylor Putnam, one of them kids out there, Rich, not very big in stature out there, but he plays a lot bigger than he actually is. He's shorter, but he is very shifty. One thing that Coach Eben and Coach Cruz really like about him is his ability to turn and cut on a dime.
Spees, on the other hand, averages about 14 yards a kick return.
Eppinga lines it up there, waiting for the official sign. He has got it as he steps it off. And we are ready to go here tonight. Lion football on the air. Short kick, end over end. Spees comes up, catches it at his own 15. Now working towards the middle of the field. Sidesteps one defender, steps over another, and trips. And if he doesn't trip over that one, he's got a bunch more yards, but a nice return and good starting field position for the Lions.
You know, when you have a wedge started as the Lions did on that particular kickoff return, when the breakdowns happens on the other side is when you get out of your lanes, and that's what Unity Christian did. They narrowed themselves down to the ball, gave up an extra 10 yards. Good return for the Lions, starting the ball at about the 35, 36.
Well, the Lions will break the huddle here. Pistol formation for Lutmer. Twin receivers to the left side, single man to the right. Graham Eben stands behind him. They'll fake the hand, bubble screen left side to Putnam. Putnam has first down yardage out around midfield, and a great play on first down.
You know, Jay Schrick on the far side, he was split wide left, and he got a good seal block. You don't have to do much. You don't have to knock the guy down. Just get in front of him. That allowed the receiver to get the first down out to the 49.
Ball just shy of the midfield marker. Lions up on the ball. Twins right, single man to the left, back in that pistol formation. Lutmer looks it over. He'll call it out. He'll hand off this time. Eben right up the middle of the field. He's got good yards. Breaks to the outside. Down the sidelines he goes. And he is knocked out of bounds by Jacob Van Dong. But not before a good 20-plus yard pickup.
To the point of the attack. Everything happens on that line of scrimmage. And thus far in this opening part of this game, the Lions are showing some dominance. They're making some holes on that line of scrimmage. And that's going to be key for them continuing this drive that started back at their own 28-yard line.
24 yards for Eben there. Lions 1st and 10 again. Lutmer calls it out, hands it off one more time. This time not as much room, but Eben does a good job of fighting forward for a tough 3.
Kobe Karhoff in the stop defensively for the Knights. But limited to a couple yards. But at this end of the field, that is a very critical play, even though they only got a couple yards up, because it's setting up this play. Coach Eben is always going to be thinking about 3 plays ahead. This is the play that he wants to be successful.
2nd and 7 here for Lutmer. He'll fake the hand. He's going to keep it himself. Straight up the middle of the field. Cuts, makes one-man miss. Shooting to the corner. No one outruns Zach Lutmer, and he scores from 25 yards out.
And that's exactly what I was talking about, Joel, is the fact he set up the run left side, faked the handoff left on the counter to Lutmer. He cuts back across the green, found a great opener on that right side of that offensive line, takes it in for a touchdown. Lions up on top by 6.
Just 4 plays in the lightning strikes here. Zach Lutmer from 25 yards out, and the Lions are on top with 10 and 24 to play here in the first quarter. Swinging gate formation here, Rich. You got to remember that. We're about the only ones who do it.
I tell you what, I haven't seen that for years.
Swinging gate comes in.
Yeah.
Lutmer is the holder. Matthew Deeren, the sophomore kicker for the Lions. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and that is good as well. 10:24 to play in the first quarter. Lions on top early, 7-0. We'll be back with more Lion football on the Central Lyon Broadcast Network.
At Frontier Bank, we know you're busy with what really matters. That's why our Big Deal checking account was created to make banking work for you. While you're keeping up with life's daily transactions, your Big Deal checking account is earning you monthly rewards. Competitive rates, refunds on ATM fees, and more, with no minimum balance or monthly service fees required. And you can apply for a Big Deal account from anywhere in less than 10 minutes. Focus on what matters most. Bank with Frontier Bank. See a customer service representative for more information. Member FDIC.
Back at Dicknall Field, Joel Viss, Rich Rosti with you here tonight. The Lions on the board in just 4 plays. They march it down the field and use up just a minute and a half of the clock. They strike on a 25-yard Zach Lutmer touchdown run, and they lead 7-0. And the Lions, you can't get a better start than that.
As we talked about, the offensive line dominated on that entire drive, opened up big holes, also good reads by Lutmer, and setting up that keeper, giving a 25-yard touchdown run for him.
Cooper Spees on to do the kicking duties here as he will get lined up for Unity. Back to receive will be their quarterback, Braden Bosma. Bosma bringing it up the field there. He'll be wrapped up and brought down. Actually, that was Ethan Van Ginkel, the slot receiver. Nice return as he gets it out across the 30.
It's going to be interesting to watch Unity Christian coming out, getting their first possession of the ball. Their quarterback, only a freshman, Braden Bosma, 574 passing yards. He's rushed for only 57 because he's got a running back in Trevor Wieringa that has 466 yards on 101 carries.
Pistol formation, very similar to the Lions. They'll hand off right up the middle of the field. No, they'll keep with the quarterback around the right end. Bosma's got good yardage on first down. Good fake there and around the corner out to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 8. Bosma, nice run there and a nice run-pass option. Good zone read coverage on that.
Central Lyon strung that out, but the one thing that made that play work so very well is the way that the quarterback ran it. He ran it not only parallel, but towards the line of scrimmage, so when he gets to the outside, he's already made positive yards.
Flags will fly here. A false start going to be called against Unity Christian. Do believe the motion man of Van Dong started moving forward before the ball was snapped. That is going to be the 5-yard penalty there. Push him back and take away a 2nd down and 3, make it 2nd down and 8 for the Knights.
On that last run by the Knights, Lyle Moore came up with the tackle. On the year, 18 tackles. He has 13 solo tackles. Also 3 tackles for loss. Did a good job getting from that defensive end out to the outside.
4 wide on 2nd down. Man in motion. They'll fake the hand, dropping back to pass, looking out in the flat. Has his man there over the sidelines, and a good pass. Going to have first down yardage there. Making the catch there was number 14 for Unity Christian. Nice job there of just getting open in the flat.
That's when you make something happen out of not much. Quarterback Bosma is getting lots of pressure by the Lions, but he was able to avoid that, get the pass off, picks up the first down, and that play really didn't have a lot of success looking at it, but it wound up having great success.
1st and 10, man in motion. That is the number 2 man. That is Ethan Van Ginkel taking it on the jet sweep around the end. Going to pick up a couple out to the 45. Should set up a 2nd down and 8.
One thing that's going to be interesting for me watching Unity Christian is just how much counter action that they're going to be using in their offense tonight, because they've been showing a lot of power and running towards the power. It's going to be interesting to see how they come back the other direction with 2nd down at about 8.
2nd and 8 here, man in motion again, back to pass. Passing over the right side on the slant, has his man Jacob Van Dong. Van Dong carries it into Lion territory down to the 40 for a 15-yard pickup there. Nice slant pattern, stepping in front of the cornerback.
Bosma kind of sidearmed that, 3/4 sidearm, whipped it out. Got a great reception downfield, 1st down, great presence of knowing where his receivers are. Lions had triple coverage in the area, but then ball was threaded right in between them. Another 1st down for Unity Christian.
1st and 10, Twins right, single left. They'll hand off this time right up the middle, and blown up in the backfield is Wieringa. He'll be driven backwards. They'll give him forward progress of a loss of a yard.
Great job done defensively again, this time by Lyle Moore, and loss of about a yard, and that's what the Lions going to have to do. They establish their offensive line. Now the defensive line needs to be able to step up and make some stops at this particular drive.
2nd and 11, trips right, single man to the left, quick pass over the right side, bubble screen, looking for it. They've got positive yards up around, still fighting for yards, going to be very close to a 1st down. Carter DeYoung on the reception for Unity.
Second effort, and keep those feet driving. That's the key for success on any time that you're carrying the football, and he did exactly that and picked up the 1st down as the Knights are coming back after giving up the opening drive touchdown to the Lions. Now they're marching down to the 29-yard line of Central Lyon George Little Rock.
On 1st down, they hand off right up the middle to Wieringa again. Lions wrap him up. They hold him up after a tough couple. Inside the 30-yard line, down to about the 28, maybe 2 on the carry.
Practically no wind here tonight at Dicknell Field. Beautiful night. Rain earlier today. Temperatures cooling down nicely. Great crowd on hand, as always. 41 years ago, it was like this then. It's still here today.
Well, as we said, Rich, some things change and some things never do. So here we go. Knights, 2nd down and 8. Twins right, single man to the left. Shotgun formation as he's back to pass. Is Bosma looking down the right side of the field. They're going to heave one towards the sideline. Van Dong, the intended receiver, and over his head and out of bounds. That is his 1st incompletion of the night.
Bosma has an interesting throwing motion. Pretty much 3/4 sidearm, and he just kind of whips it. It isn't kind of where you step in. He's using all arm strength, which is amazing for a freshman. You'd think that would take a toll, but that's probably how he's thrown it his entire life.
3rd down and long here for the Knights. Trips left, single man to the right side here. They're going to go option over the left side, stepping back to pass. Looking, intercepted down the middle of the field. This Lutmer. Lutmer turning around, going down the left sidelines. He's going to try and outrun the distance, picks up a block, and is finally knocked out of bounds near the midfield marker. And Zach Lutmer gets the pick. And the Lions got exactly what Coach Eben said, forced them into passing downs, and the defensive backs do the work.
Lutmer picks up his 3rd interception of the season, gets his troops all the way into Knight territory at the 46-yard line. And again, pressure, good defensive presence and positioning for Central Lyon George Little Rock.
Bend but don't break defense. That's been the Lion way for all these years. They break the huddle, 1st and 10. Twins right, single man to the left. Pistol formation. Lutmer calls it out. He's going to fake the hand bubble screen to Putnam. Putnam on the right side there, going around the outside. Good block by Spees. Gets him out in the open for 1st down yardage down to the 31. And a good 15 yards on 1st down.
Like I said, you don't have to knock a guy down to have a successful block. And Spees did exactly that. He got a screen block, got his shoulders parallel to the sideline, which allowed him to have great position, be able to hold that defender off, and that allowed the Lions to get all the way down to the 31.
1st and 10 for the Lions. Twins left, single man to the right. That is Cooper Spies here on the bottom side of your screen. That pistol formation. Rex Van Wy going in motion from right to left. They'll hand off up the middle. It goes to Eben. He's got all sorts of running room. Powers his way inside the 20, down to the 18, maybe the 17-yard line. See where they go. But 13 or 14 yards, it's another Lion first down.
Oh, what a great seal block on the inside as the Lions' offensive line crashed down and were able to get a hook block also. And that opened up that for that first down run. Great job done in that offensive line. And I believe that making that tackle there was Cale Schulte. Great block by him.
Van Wy back in motion again. Twins left, single right on first down. They'll hand off again to Eben. Eben is tripped up immediately and falls forward for a yard on first down.
Noah Bronner coming up. Bronner, I beg your pardon. Came over the tackle. Good job by fighting off the block and then getting a good wrap and bringing him down. Only a gain of about 1 yard.
That'll set up second down and 9 here for the Lions on the 16-yard line of the Knights. They'll send twin receivers to the right side, single man to the left. Pistol formation. Lutmer calls it out. He'll fake the hand. He's going to keep himself up the middle of the field. Sidesteps a few defenders inside the 10 and down to about the 5-yard line, given the 4 and a tough 12 yards for Zach.
Jacob Van Dong making a stop defensively, just hanging on. Hopefully he wasn't being dragged too far because he got dragged down inside, the 5-yard line.
Well, the Lions will set up first down and goal at the 4-yard line here as they might bring in the heavy package. This is something you probably don't see either, Rich, is the Lions in that shotgun all the time. Here's more familiar. Power eye to the right side. Lutmer under center.
I used to call this the beef eater backfield.
Lutmer calls it out, hands off over the right side. Putnam powers ahead, gets down to the 1-yard line. Tough 3 yards for Taylor.
Making a stop defensively there with James Bauma, senior, 160-pound, 6-footer. Gave the ball game 8 tackles, 7 solo. Picked up a solo tackle here.
Lions in that heavy package here. Second down and goal from the 1. Can they punch it through? Lutmer up under center. Everybody in the box for the Knights. Lutmer calls it out, hands off. Second man through again is Taylor Putnam, and he punches it in for the 1-yard run.
Tenacity. That's what you call tenacity. You're down there, you're hit in the backfield, and you still drive forward, wedge your way in between a couple of defenders, and get down inside for a touchdown. Lions very impressive, turning an interception and a great series for the second touchdown for the Lions tonight.
Well, Lions get the pick. They use a short field and march it down the field, and Taylor Putnam puts it in for the second score here of the first quarter. Lions lead 13-0 with the extra point to come. Swinging gate formation comes in. Now that's a gate, Rich, that you got to pay attention to with Lutmer as your holder. We have snapped it out of there. If we see one-on-one with Zach Lutmer, we take our chances and can go for 2. Low snap, but Lutmer corrals it. Deeren gets it up, and Deeren gets it through. 4:28 to go here in the first quarter. Lions lead 14-0. We'll be back with more Lion football on the Central Lyon Broadcast Network.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body.
Back at Dicknall Field here, Lions on the board again with 4:28 to play in the first quarter. This time a Taylor Putnam 1-yard touchdown run, making the score 14-0. Lions looking strong here in the first quarter as Unity trying to get something going. Had a good drive last time, but ended in an interception deep in Lion territory. And we'll see if they can create the same thing again.
Third touchdown rushing for Putnam this year.
Cooper Spies on to do the kicking duties. A short kick this time, just jumps over the top And that goes to Carter DeYoung. He brings it up across the 25 and brought down at about the 28-yard line. Good coverage that time by the Lions.
Now, this is going to be an interesting series for the Lions. Last series, they were giving up some yardage, had some passes thrown in front of them, picking up yardage for Unity Christian. They were able to come up with, the Lions were able to come up with a pass interception, but I'm sure that there's been some adjustments being made on the sideline to try to contain the quarterback, Bosma, because he is a threat. And like I said, he can throw off his back foot, sidearm. He can deliver it many different ways. Going to have to really be in his face to be able to have a factor to stop him.
On first down, a miscommunication between the quarterback and the tailback, and Bosma just jumps on it for a loss of 1 there, and very close to another turnover, and that would have been a killer.
Yeah, second turnover, and if you capitalize on that, it's a 21-point lead. That's a tough deficit to come back from. However, Unity Christian got the ball back, and with their quarterback, Bosma, don't put anything past, especially trips to the right side.
3 right, single man to the left, pistol formation. Bosma back to pass, looking right side over the middle, almost intercepted again, and it looked like Rex Van Wy had to beat on it, got his hands up, but could not bring it in.
That is, if you watch the delivery of the quarterback, Bosma, it is a very quick delivery and interesting. It's not that's not the way they teach it nowadays.
Well, and it might be the fact that he's a freshman and something they can work on over the next 3 years.
Good point.
Third down and long for the Knights. They send Twins to the right, single man to the left. Bosma calls it out, back to pass, looking left side, out in the flat, throws it behind and low. It was tipped by Van Beek. Gable Van Beek getting a hand on it, the linebacker for the Lions.
Van Beek comes into the ballgame, 26 tackles, 19 solos, and he had a great tip ball there. Fourth down and long. Lions going to have great field position after this punt.
On to do the kicking duties here for Unity Christian. Sam Westra, the punter, stands at his own 15-yard line. Spees and Lutmer are back to do the return duties. Deep over the top of Lutmer's head. He has to go back to catch it. Now he's going to bring it up in return over the right side, out across the 45 to the 47. And a good 10 to 12-yard pickup there on the return.
Well, whenever you start a series close to midfield, your options entirely change as far as an offensive coordinator, as far as what you're going to do. I would have to believe that Central Lyon is going to establish the run, work on that, work for the counter, but maybe that Lutmer is going to be starting to air it off, maybe as a bit of a surprise element in this series.
First down and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Twins left, single man is Spees here to the right side, shotgun formation. They'll shift Van Wy from right to left. Lutmer calls it out. He hands off Isaiah Johnson over the left side, breaking for the corner. Can't outrun the defense. He'll be brought down in the backfield for a loss of 2.
Oh, great job done by that defensive end for Unity Christian as he got outside and maintained that corner. And I believe that was Bo Bile, and he loss of about 4, but he did a great job keeping his shoulders square and just attacking the ball and pushing it out of bounds.
Well, second down and 13 is the placement. Ball at the 44-yard line. Twin receivers off to each side, shotgun formation. Lutmer brings a man in motion. That is Putnam rolling out right side. Looking down at the flat, has Putnam in the open across the 50. And Putnam loses his foot at the 47-yard line going down there. He had a big gainer in his hands.
That's one thing we did talk about in the pregame, about the field being wet. It had rain here this morning, and that time cleats just didn't hold, and they just went out from under him. But it still sets up now third down and a good 4. There would have been a first down otherwise. So this is a key first down attempt for the Lions.
Third down and 4. Twins receivers to each side, shotgun formation. Lutmer calls it out, fakes the hand, he'll keep it himself, calls his own number down the right side. He's got an opening. Now breaking to the right side. He outruns one defender, knocked inside the 10-yard line. He's out of bounds, and a flag will fly, and there's going to be a little extracurricular yards, but not much when you return it and you bring it all the way down to the 3.
Carter DeYoung got the final tackle, but maybe out of bounds a little bit too much. And they're going to call a flag down there, but a great speed. This is the first time I've seen Lutmer, and what tremendous speed he has, and how he is able to use his quickness to get outside and get that straight line going.
So a late hit out of bounds will go against Unity Christian, half the distance to the goal from the 3-yard line. So only going to be a 1-yard penalty on that. And I do believe in that. That's desperation. You're diving to knock that kid out of bounds because otherwise you're not catching him.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
So the Lions will set up first down and goal at the 1-yard line with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They lead 14-0, looking for more.
One of my old broadcast partners, Ty Kruger, and that's when Roger Meyer played here. And he says when you tackle Roger Meyer, you just hope that he doesn't drag you too far.
Absolutely. Shotgun formation here for Lutmer on first down and goal. They'll shift Van Wy to the left side. Handoff over the middle goes to Isaiah Johnson, and he walks in for the Lion touchdown.
Amazing blocking at the point of attack for the Lions. There was nobody who's going to touch the running back on that particular play. Wide open, great blocking. You got to always acknowledge those offensive linemen. Nobody talks about them enough, and they have put on a clinic thus far in this game tonight.
Isaiah Johnson walks in for the 1-yard touchdown. He is the third different Lion to score here in the first quarter. Lions lead 20-0 and are all over Unity. And Unity Christian came in tonight 4-1 on the season, 2-0 in district play, and they are getting more than they wanted here early on.
Other than their big loss to Boyd Hall Rock Valley, only giving up around 10 points a game, and they've given up 20 in this first quarter.
Snap was low. Lutmer corralled it, but Deeren couldn't get it off the ground. Kick was no good. It was blocked. So with 1:59 to go here in the first quarter, Lions on top, 20-0. We'll take another timeout and be back with more Lion football on the Central Lion Broadcast Network.
After a long day, deciding on dinner can be tough, but a few simple words can make everything better.
Pizza's here.
End your day the right way with pizza and chicken from the carryout and delivery experts at your local Pizza Ranch.
A lot of things can happen.
Back at Dicknall Field, Joel Viss, Rich Rosty here with you here tonight. Rich, the Silver Fox, 41 years ago coming into the Lion booth for the first time, and he's back again. We're glad to have you along, Rich, and the Lions are looking good in your return.
Oh, fantastic. They had great drives, good defense, turnovers. Things are cooking in all cylinders.
Good kick this time by Cooper, bobbled there on the backfield there, and the Lions just swallow him up there, and Carter DeYoung could not get his hands on it. He is down, and he is hurt. Inside the 10-yard line, he was trying to pick the ball up and return it, and he picked it up just as a Lion defender was coming through and really got a piece of him, and he is on the ground holding his arm in pain.
I hate to see anybody get hurt, and it's great that the trainer for the Lions went onto the field right away, and now the trainer for Unity Christian is coming across the field, and now they have reached him and going to be attending to him. But he did take a hit. It was a good hit, legal hit. There's nothing wrong with that, but he took a big hit.
Well, Carter DeYoung down there inside the 10-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 9 where the Knights will take over when they get to come back to their possession. Now they'll be on their third possession here of the first quarter. Their first possession, they marched the ball all the way down the field, got inside to the 20-yard line of the Lions before an interception by Lutmer returned it back to midfield. On the next possession, Lions able to force a 3-and-out. And usually on that third drive of a game, Rich, is when offenses start to find where they can take advantage. They start to learn what the defense is doing and where they can move around.
Oh, there's no doubt about it by the time you get to the third one. However, you have a guy on the other side that's a defensive coordinator, and he's got a plan, too, of figuring things out and how he can make adjustments. So it becomes a chess match, as it's always been. But the interesting thing is who's ahead and who's thinking ahead.
Well, DeYoung walked off the field there, back on for the offense here. 1st and 10, Knights at their own 9-yard line. In the shadows of their own end zone, twin receivers to the left side, single man right. They'll hand off right up the middle. Wieringa busts through the first set of tackles out close to the 20-yard line. Big run of 10 yards there for Trevor Wieringa, and that's the running back we expected to see tonight.
He absolutely got leveled by a cliffhanger, what I would call by Lutmer. Basically took his forearm right across his chest and knocked him back. Lutmer had a great tackle, but a good run by Wieringa.
10 yards on the carry, sets it at the 19-yard line. 1st down and 10, fresh set here for the Knights. A little bit of breathing room now out of their own shadows here. Back to pass, rolling right side, throwing back, and underthrown. I don't think the running back of Wieringa was trying to come out on a screen pass, but he got held up by Chase Thedens, the defensive end.
You know, that would be termed an ill-advised pass by Bosma because he was throwing blind. He kind of was running away from it, threw it back against the grain. His receiver wasn't watching for it or wasn't expecting it, and those are the kind that get pick six.
Well, like you said, ill-advised, and the best part about that is that there wasn't a Lion defender within reach. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Twins left, single man to the top side there. Calling it out, they'll hand off. Wieringa up the middle again. He's got good yardage out across the 20 to about the 24. Pickup of 5 on 2nd down.
Closing in on the minute remaining of the first quarter, 20-0, Central Lyon George Little Rock leading over the Unity Christian Knights.
3rd down, and they're going to say 6, a long 5, short 6, it looks like, for Unity Christian as they look over to the sidelines to get the play call. Pistol formation, twin receivers tight to the right side, single man left, back to pass is Bosma. Heavy pressure, he's underneath of it. Lions are attacking, and in the backfield, Gable Van Beek with the sack. And a lot of help from the Lion defensive line forcing him out there. Lyle Moore in there, Chase Thedens, and finally Van Beek finishes him off.
And that, I believe, is his first sack of the year. 26 tackles, 19 solos. And he picked up his 20th solo, and that was a sack. Great pressure, setting up 4th down and about 15.
Loss of about 12 on that play. Back to punt again. A high spiraling kick, short this time. Lutmer catches it at the 45. Now reversing field, left side. Picks up a block from Spees. The wall is there. Lutmer down the sidelines, makes a man miss, but he's tripped up at about the 20, where he'll be brought down. And the Lions, once again, outstanding field position in plus territory.
Great return left for the Lions, setting up the wall like you talked about, Joel. And usually what happens, there's always one guy that gets outside coverage. That's when you come back in, and that's when they finally brought down Lutmer. But the first quarter is in the books, 20-0. Central Lyon George Little Rock leading over Unity Christian, and it's great to be back.
We'll be back with more Lion football here on the Lion Broadcast Network.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
May your holidays sparkle with joy and excitement as the new year is upon us. On behalf of the entire staff of DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, we want to wish you God's peace and blessings as we reflect on this past year and eagerly anticipate the beginnings of the new year. Our prayer for you is for good health, happiness, and quality time with God's family and friends. Happy New Year from DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, Rock Rapids and Laverne.
Back at Dicknall Field here for the start of quarter number 2. Joel Viss, Rich Rosty alongside you here tonight and leading you through this Lion football broadcast. Lions 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line out of a Lutmer punt return. Rex Van Vlies shifts from right to left in the up back position. Lutmer rolling right side. He's going to throw it deep down the field for Spees. Jump ball is incomplete. knocked away. Good coverage by the Knights.
Well, the Knights, like you said, Joel, great coverage down there, keeping themselves between the receiver and the quarterback and able to knock that ball down. Both these quarterbacks have entirely different passing motions. Lutmer's probably much more of a traditional look compared to Bosma, but both have tremendous strength in passing.
Lutmer's first incompletion there of the night, 3 of 4 passing for 38 yards so far. Lutmer in that pistol formation, twin receivers to the left side, single man to the right. They'll hand off up the middle of the field to Isaiah Johnson. He'll power ahead for a tough couple. 3rd down and long coming here for the Lions, but in traditional CLGLR format, when you're this deep into the red zone, you're obviously going to go for it on 4th down.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And the thing about it is right now, they got 3rd down and about 8. They have a lot of different options. They got the ball to the left side of the field, wide open right side. Look for them to come left.
Man in motion here is Putnam from left to right. They're going to roll right side, throw out in the flat, have their man. That's Putnam. He shoots and dives for the end zone, and they'll say he stepped out of bounds as he made the leap back at about the 5.
What do I know about football? Call that to the left. They threw it all the way to the right. Great job done, setting up a 1st down and goal inside about the 3-yard line.
It's good when the offensive coordinator has you fooled.
Yeah. But that was very well executed. And that's what, at quarterback club the other day, Coach Eben was talking about different things as far as the past games. Execution was one of the things that he had said had at times been a breakdown in games that they had lost. Execution tonight, from what I am seeing, is all but flawless. They haven't had any breakdowns. They haven't given up a sack. They haven't given up the big play off defensively. Lions are playing exceptionally well in this contest.
On 1st and goal, they take it in. Lutmer fakes the hand up the middle. Everyone bites on it, and he walks in for the 4-yard touchdown. Lions on top 26-0. We'll see if they try and go for 2 on this one or if they just decide to kick with that 4-touchdown lead.
Well, Lutmer's out there with the pad, and he's setting things up for the hold. Swinging gate. Lots of different options can go with that. And Dick Null explained to me about the swinging gate. And for him, that took a lot of patience because I was a lineman, and it took me a lot longer to learn it than anybody else.
Lutmer on to do the holding. Good snap, good hold. Deeren has the ball up, and it is good. 11-10 to go here in the second quarter. 27-0. Lions with a big lead. We'll be back with more Lion football on the Lion Broadcast Network.
Yeah, I knew that early, but they have really shown dominance in this game.
Well, we're back at Dicknall Field here. Rich Rosty alongside myself, Joel Viss, here in the announcer's booth. Lions looking good early in this one. They lead 27-0 early in the second quarter. This time a 4-yard touchdown run for Zach Lutmer, his second rushing touchdown of the night.
You know, in the 8 meetings that these teams have had, Unity Christian just has defeated the Lions one time, and that was in 2011.
Tough kick there for Spees off the side of his foot, stays in bounds, and brought up the field there by the return man. That was Eppinga, or no, it's Ethan Van Ginkel, and Van Ginkel gets it across the 20, and it was a tough kick there, and just lucky it didn't go out of bounds.
You know, some teams actually will practice the fact that they're going to kick it as a squib kick, put some spin on it, give their kick coverage team a chance to possibly recover it or to pin them deeper. And it worked well in this situation, pin it back down inside the 30.
Knights will start first down and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Twins right, single left. They fake the hand, rolling left side is Bosma. Flag will fly in the air of a hold, but the Lions are all over it in the backfield. And coming up, making a big hit, I do believe you got Schulte and Lutmer knocking him down in the backfield.
Oh, Gabe Schulte did a fantastic job getting on his horse, getting an angle of pursuit to be able to get that tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Flag on this side of the field. What are you thinking, Joel?
I mean, it looked to be in the area of a hold. The umpire threw it. That's usually the call and the case there. We'll see, though. The Lions may take the loss of yards and the loss of down versus the holding, and that is what the call is, and the Lions will decline.
With that brings up, instead of first down and 20, it's going to be second down and about 18. Wise choice on declining the penalty.
Loss of 6 on the play there. So it is second down and 16 here back at the 15-yard line for Unity Christian. Twins right, single left. Shotgun formation. Bosma's going to toss over the right side. Throwback pass. Now looking deep down the field. They've got Van Dong. He's over the top. Makes the catch at the midfield marker. And not the best throw, but a really good adjustment and a great catch by Jacob Van Dong.
Throwback quarterback pass. Great job. That's what Unity Christian needed to do, come up with something unique, get some field position. They were really behind the 8 ball back down there. Now they're taken out just shy of the midfield stripe. Good call by the head coach on the far side, Joshua Van Kempen.
First and 10 Knights, Twins to each side, back to pass again. Here's that screenplay underneath. Lions Lions all over it, nothing doing. Rex Van Wy, the linebacker, just explodes on the tailback.
You know, that screen was set up very well, but that takes a disciplined linebacker not to keep following his defensive lineman into the backfield. That's exactly what the offense wants. And he stayed and took care of business, followed his key appropriately, and made the tackle loss of 2.
Bo Bile was the receiver for the Knights. Second and 12 now, trips to the right side, single man left, back to pass. Bosma, quick pass over the middle, has Bile at the 46-yard line. He's fighting for more yards, the big tight end. And finally, 4 Lions able to rip him to the ground.
Yeah, you talk about big tight end, 6'4", 205-pounder. Came in the ball game, 171 yards in receptions. Showed us why he's a great receiver right there, setting up third down and about 3.
Bo Bile 9 yards on the reception. Third down and short. 4 wide, 3 to the right side here. Single man to the top side of your screen. Back to pass is Bile. Looking left side. He's going to throw deep down the sidelines. Has the basket catch, but out of bounds is Van Dong. And Jacob Van Dong made a great little scoop there, but couldn't keep the feet in play.
That play surprised me. I mean, it's maybe a good time to have a surprise call, but that sets up now 4th down and about 4 yards to go. Need to get down to about the 41-yard line of the Lions, so they put themselves at a bit of a peril by not going for the first down immediately. Now they're in a forced situation. Ordinarily, you would punt from this, but being down 27-0, they're going to be going for it. They don't make it to give the Lions such great field position with 9 minutes left to go in this first half.
Well, the Knights will go for it. Need to hurry up as the play clock is dipping down. They'll hand off up to Wieringa. No, they'll fake the hand, throw it deep down the sidelines, and overshoots everybody as it goes out of bounds. And just like you said, Rich, a 4th down play, no good. They'll give the Lions some outstanding field position.
27-0, Central Lyon. George Little Rock leading over Unity Christian. 8:57 to go in this first half. Been dominated by the Lions. The defense, to me, Joel, the defense feels like it's getting more confident. Their strength is growing because they've had great stops, great defensive stands, and they just seem to be building their momentum.
Well, the defense sets up the offense, and they are back on the field. Counter play, reverse around. Reese Vanderzee throws to Lutmer out in the open. Lutmer down the sidelines, a little trickeration of their own. And the Lions go reverse halfback pass. Reese Vanderzee with the pass down to Lutmer.
A dipsy doodle throwback wide open to Lutmer. Takes it all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Great call. a fun call. Those are the things that really build your offense also, is those things that make it fun.
29 yards on the reception from Vanderzee to Lutmer. Lions in business again.
Late.
And a late flag is going to come in.
The stop was made at the line of scrimmage, and the defender kept pushing back, and that would have been all right, but then he took him on a double-arm takedown, like basically a belly back souffle, and brought him down. That's what's going to bring out the personal foul, 15 plus a first.
Well, and that's usually a frustration penalty in that point there. You've been getting beat up and down the field so far. And finally, you made a really good stop. You made a great play. It just turned out you went a little bit too far, and it's going to cost you. So the officials will walk it off here. No gain on the run, but nonetheless a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct call. We'll push it down deep into night territory. The Lions will have 1st and 10 again, and they will put that at the 10-yard line. And it looks like they're just outside the 10, so they can get a first down without scoring. But the Lions, would rather just punch it in. Twin receivers go out to each side, shotgun formation. Eben stands alongside of Lutmer. Back to pass is Lutmer. He looks down into the corner. Little flag pass over the top, going up for it. Can't bring it in is Cooper Spies. Ball is incomplete, and not a bad play on first down.
Well thrown. The pass was there, but when the receiver is going backwards, he's got the defender right in front of him. The ball is high. You don't realize just how much that ball is bouncing in your vision as you're backpedaling. It's very difficult to bring it in.
Well, the incompletion brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Lions. They set up empty backfield this time. Man in motion. Here, that is Spies. They'll hand off to him left side. Spies cuts it up the field inside the 5, down to the 2 for a big gainer there. Very close to a first down. Going to be about a yard short.
That was convoy left, pulling the white right guard all around to the left side. Winds up with 3 blockers at the point of the attack. And they did a good job getting it down inside the 5-yard line, using clock and just marching down the field.
Ball at the 4-yard line, fake the hand, Lutmer goes, Lutmer powers ahead, he is in for his 3rd touchdown of the night.
All 3 of them, well no, 2 of them have been that exact same play. With the handoff fake, then delays off to the left side. Great blocking again, the offensive line, central line, George Little Rock doing an outstanding job.
Zach Lutmer, his 3rd touchdown run of the night, a 4-yarder this time. Again, he's got another 4-yarder and a 25-yarder to his credit. As the Lions set up in the swinging gate, we talked about this a little bit before, Rich. When I talked to Coach Toby Lorenzen back in the day, when he was the coach, I asked why the swinging gate, and he said more or less it's something that the other team has to practice for. He goes, they have to waste 15 minutes of their practice to try and learn how to do that. As Matt Deeren kicks it through, is 7:38 to go. It is 34-0. Lions leading here midway through the first half. We'll be back with more Lion football on the Lion Broadcast Network.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body.
Carlton Hector, oh my.
Back at Dicknall Field here in Rock Rapids, Joel Viss and Rich Rosty here. Lions dominating here in the first half. 7:38 to play in the second quarter. They lead 34-0. And a surprising score. Unity Christian always plays the Lions tough. And coming in 4-1 on the season here, really expected a lot more out of the Knights.
And I did too coming over here. Just by what their record had been, that they had had some successes. But some of the teams that they had been playing have not had that successful of seasons thus far.
Cooper Spees, good deep kick here down the sidelines. It is picked up by Van Ginkel. He'll bring it across the 20. He's wrapped up and pushed out of bounds at about the 25. So good coverage once again by the Lions return team. Knights will set up first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And Rich, here being down 34-0, this is when you're on the other side of the football. You really want your kids not to give up. You want them to keep playing hard, and you really need to put a drive together here and try and get some points on the board.
Well, that's what I talked about when they did that trick play, and they got some great yardage out to the midfield. But then they set themselves up for failure going for a long pass on a third and makeable. And wound up turning the ball over.
Bosma hands it off over the left side to Wieringa. He just puts the head down and powers ahead for a tough yard. Not much going there as the Lion defensive line has been stout.
And stout is a key word there. Max Gruis, Cale Schulte, two of the guys on that defensive line. Gabe Schulte, stalwart defensive line play, outstanding.
Second down and 9 here for the Knights. They'll send 3 wide receivers off to the left side, single man to the right this time. Bosma in that pistol formation, back to pass, looks left side in the flat, has his tight end Bile. Bile catches it at the 31-yard line, and he is shoved backwards for a 5-yard pickup.
Now that sets up third down and long again for the Knights. And I have to be thinking that what they're going to be doing here, they're not going to go for something long. They're going to look for something that's going to be their bread and butter. I look for them to have Bosma try to find Bile, either cutting across the center or curling on the outside.
Bosma fakes the hand, looks left side, has his man, had a great beat on him, and Van Dong just couldn't bring it in. Good slant pattern, and the ball was right on the money. And Jacob Van Dong just didn't catch it.
You have to catch that pass. It was right there in front of your eyes. It would have been for a first down. It was a critical situation. But sometimes, when things are going the wrong direction for you, that's when you wind up having these little things that don't work well for you.
Sam Westra on to punt again. He'll field the ball cleanly, give the ball a boot, a high spiraling kick. Fair catch called for at the 40-yard line by Cooper Spees. And that's where the Lions will start. And really good starting field position, but maybe some of the worst starting field position of the night here for the Lions.
It probably is. Clock sitting at 6 minutes. Lions up on top, 34-0 over Unity Christian. Next week, Unity Christian plays at West Lyon. And then Central Lyon will be playing at Sheldon to take on the Orabs.
Timeout being called here on the field. Going to get these guys some water. It is hot and sticky out here. As Rich said earlier, the American flag on the pole is just dead at its rights there. There is no breeze out here. And what started out as a cool, rainy morning has turned into a hot, sticky evening.
They talk about hot Friday nights of football as I think of a movie or a part of a title of some kind. But all across America, they're playing football on Friday night. What I saw tonight was something that I really appreciated, that here at Central Lyon, they've done it this way forever. They line up the colors at the north end zone, march them all the way out to midfield for the playing of the national anthem and singing, and then everyone still stands at attention until the colors are retired back in the north end zone. And I'm thinking that's the way it should be all the way across America.
Well, and absolutely, the American football game is one of the greatest in the country, and a lot of respect for that flag needs to be shown. Lions come out of the timeout here. Good water break for the guys, keeping everybody hydrated. Don't want to see any of the cramping come into play. Twin receivers off to each side, shotgun formation. Lutmer and Graham in the backfield. They'll hand off to Eben. Eben tripped up. Man, he had all sorts of running room, but they got just enough of him at the line of scrimmage.
There was opening there, but sometimes that's all it takes. Just a little trip of the ankle, crossover of your ankles, and that brought him down because he had a good opener there. The line of scrimmage did a good job again, or the offensive lineman did.
They'll send those twin receivers off to each side again. Lutmer stands back there in the shotgun. He'll call it out. Handoff again, spinning around there and caught immediately in the backfield. Nothing doing for Isaiah Johnson, and he might even lose a yard on that.
Ty Borchers came in this game, and he established himself on that play, getting in that backfield, solo tackle, loss, 3rd down and long.
3rd and long here for the Lions. Twin receivers go wide to the right side. Twin receivers tight to the left. Man in motion now is Putnam. Rolling out right side. Lutmer, now he's going to come back. Nothing there. He's going to tuck. He's going to run. Can he outrun the defense? Yes, he will. 1st down yardage and more. And that's Zach Lutmer doing Zach Lutmer things. There's no other way to describe that one, Rich.
Ty Borchers, I'm sure, felt he had an angle of pursuit on Lutmer as he was moving to the outside, and all of a sudden Lutmer put it into a different gear and went right around him at about the 45-yard line, picked up another 15 or more. Lutmer, tremendous speed.
Lutmer at 111 yards on just 6 carries here tonight so far in the first half.
Lutmer, nice-sized kid, 6'2", 185.
1st and 10 for the Lions. Twin receivers each side. Man in the backfield is Eben. They'll fake the hand. Back to pass. Looking left side. Now he tucks. He's rolling right, and he's just going to throw it in the dirt. And a wise decision there by a quarterback. Last year he would have tried to make a play. This year you throw it away and live to fight another day.
He was looking left all the way. He wanted to get downfield looking for Vanderzee possibly or one of the other guys. And early, he had a receiver open in the right wing, going out to the flat. That's where he wound up throwing the football, but he made the right decision, like you said, Joel. Threw it away, lived for another down. It's 2nd down and 10. Clock's down to 4:30 in this first half, up on top, 34-0. You don't want to give away a cheap one.
3 wideouts break out to the left or to the right side, single man to the left. That's Austin. Rolling right side is Lutmer. He's got heavy pressure, avoids the first tackle, avoids another, throws deep down the sidelines. Man wide open down there's Eben. Eben makes one cut and he scores.
Oh, I am impressed. I'm impressed with Lutmer, what he was able to get away from the defenders in the backfield, all around him and getting after him. And he wings it out to the left side, fires downfield, Eben all by himself down around the 10-yard line. And then he got a good seal block from the farther receiver and able to go into the end zone, putting things up on top for the Lions, 40-0, 4:18 to play first half.
35-yard touchdown reception for Graham Eben from Zach Lutmer. And Lutmer avoiding the sack in the backfield, and then things break down, and that's when big plays happen. As the Lions come on to kick here once again, Matthew Deeren sets to go as he steps it off. Clean snap, clean hold, and a clean kick is good. 4:18 to play in the first half. Lions on top, 41-0. We'll take a break and be back with more Lion football on the Lion Broadcast Network.
At Frontier Bank, we know you're busy with what really matters. That's why our Big Deal checking account was created to make banking work for you. While you're keeping up with life's daily transactions, your Big Deal checking account is earning you monthly rewards. Competitive rates, refunds on ATM fees, and more, with no minimum balance or monthly service fees required. And you can apply for a Big Deal account from anywhere in less than 10 minutes. Focus on what matters most. Bank with Frontier Bank. See a customer service representative for more information. Member FDIC.
Back at Dicknall Field, 4:18 to go in the second quarter. It is all Central Lyon George Little Rock as they lead Unity Christian 41-0. The Knights came into tonight 4-1 on the season, 2-0 on top of 2A District 1, and the Lions are making a statement here, and they want to insert themselves as one of the front runners as well. Short squib kick this time by Spees, caught by the up back for the Knights, making his way across to the 35-yard line and being knocked down there on the return for Unity Christian.
Caleb Schrock
there, number 27, a tight end. Unity Christian, once again, you got just under 4 minutes to go. The clock is on the move. The 35-point rule, that's one of those things that was implemented when you get to that 35-point lead. The clock runs continuously and can only be stopped on a timeout or a score, or if the team can get it back under 35.
I think that's a very good rule to have.
It was one of those rules they came in as they hand off over the right side to Wieringa. Wieringa powers ahead for 4. Rich, back in the day, you remember it was a 50-point mercy rule and the game was over. Mm-hmm. Well, coaches felt that they couldn't get their younger players in the game to help give them some valuable time on the field, so they went to a 35-point mercy rule where they just run a running clock.
A very good compromise.
Handoff again to Wieringa. He's hitting the backfield, fights off of it, but wrapped up again. He'll go down for a loss of 1. Reese Vanderzee coming up from the safety position to knock him back.
Vanderzee came in the ballgame, 8 tackles, 6 solo. Also has an interception on the year.
He got that interception last week on the second play of the game, a 32-yard pick 6 to open up the scoring. Knights set up 3rd down and long here at their own 38-yard line. Twin receivers to the left side, single man to the right, back to pass, looking over the right side, going to heave it down the sidelines and overshoots his intended receiver. Nothing doing there. The receiver, probably a little miscommunication as he stalled and then took off after the ball was thrown. And a tough break there as Carter DeYoung could not outrun the throw.
Braden Bosma threw that 38 yards, and it didn't seem like he had any effort at all doing that. Kind of a 3-quarter sidearm delivery.
Back to punt again are the Knights. They'll get the ball away. Nice high knuckle ball. Lutmer will come up, lets it bounce and roll out of bounds inside the 35-yard line, about at the 31. We'll see where the cliffhanger gang comes in here, and they'll walk it off and say it is right at that 31-yard line.
41-0, 1:33 left to go in this first half clock. And Joel, again, it has been just a joy for me to come here tonight to be a part of this broadcast. 41 years ago that I did my first broadcast, it was here. And I'm thinking, 41 years ago, where did that go? It's amazing. I just can't believe it.
In a blink of an eye.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Back to pass is Lutmer here on first down. Throws underneath on the screen. He's got Cooper Spees. Spees takes it out to the 35. A pickup of 5 for him. And Cooper has his first catch of the night.
What a great one-handed grab. Reached up, brought it in. It was kind of moving in his hand. He was able to concentrate and bring it in.
Quick run over the right side, Isaiah Johnson. He's wrapped up. Nothing doing there as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more on that. And Isaiah Johnson, he's quick, he's shifty. He brings another dynamic element to the backfield, but really he doesn't have the power to fight through if the defensive line is there.
35 carries, 106 yards for the 5'11", 156-pounder sophomore.
3rd down here for the Lions. They go right up the middle of the field. Graham Eben off to the races, and he bowls over the safety down inside the 35 at the 32. And just like that, you switch it up, you put Eben into the backfield, and that's the way the first half will come to an end. Lions leading Unity Christian 41-0. We'll take a break and be back with our halftime report when we return to Lion football on the Lion Broadcast Network.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
May your holidays sparkle with joy and excitement as the new year is upon us. On behalf of the entire staff of DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, we want to wish you God's peace and blessings as we reflect on this past year and eagerly anticipate the beginnings of the new year. Our prayer for you is for good health, happiness, and quality time with God's family and friends. Happy New Year from DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, Rock Rapids and Laverne.
After a long day, deciding on dinner can be tough, but a few simple words can make everything better.
Pizza's here.
End your day the right way with pizza and chicken from the carryout and delivery experts at your local Pizza Ranch.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body.
At Frontier Bank, we know you're busy with what really matters. That's why our Big Deal checking account was created to make banking work for you. While you're keeping up with life's daily transactions, your Big Deal checking account is earning you monthly rewards. Competitive rates, refunds on ATM fees, and more, with no minimum balance or monthly service fees required. And you can apply for a Big Deal account from anywhere in less than 10 minutes. Focus on what matters most. Bank with Frontier Bank. See a customer service representative for more information. Member FDIC.
Back at Dicknall Field here at the half, Central Lyon George Little Rock leading Unity Christian 41-0. It has been all CLGLR here in the first half. The Lions got out to a feverish start, man. They pounded it down the field in just 4 plays to march it in for a 25-yard touchdown by Zach Lutmer to get things started at 7-0. A couple more plays in, and the Lions had an interception and a 1-yard touchdown run from Taylor Putnam, making it 14-0. And then a 1-yard Isaiah Johnson run, a failed extra point, made it 20-0 after the first quarter of play. Moving on into quarter number 2, and a couple Zach Lutmer 4-yard touchdown runs with a couple Matt Deeren kicks gave us this 41-0 lead here at the half, and it has been all Lions here so far in the first half, Rich, and that is what we like to see on our end.
You know, Joel, we talked about it several times during the course of this broadcast, in the course of this game, is the line play by the Central Lyon George Little Rock Lions. They have dominated it offensively. They had a few times that they were bending, but they have established themselves and are really stalwart as far as that defensive line. So the line of scrimmage has been the key to this, and I think that was very much a key to that first successful drive. And then once you get that, then you have the key players, the talent guys, as you might call them. Then they're able to excel because they already have such confidence in that offensive line that they know that they're going to have an opportunity for a hole. And especially on that left side of the line, we've seen at least 3 scores go over that left side of that offensive line where they've opened up gaping holes, getting the linebacker, getting a split at that line of scrimmage, and that has been a key to this. You always talk about the quarterbacks, the passes, the runs, and things like that. It all starts up on front. And the Lions tonight have dominated the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball.
Well, and, Unity Christian really got off to a great start. I mean, they gave up the first touchdown to the Lions, but they came out offensively, and they marched it right down the field on CLGLR. Lions got that big interception by Lutmer, and after that, the defense made some great adjustments out there, and they have really been stingy since then.
Who's the defensive coordinator for the Lions?
Mitch Lupkus is the defensive coordinator for him, and you might have heard, his brother Brad.
Very much so.
Up there, so his brother Brad, a longtime Lion player. Mitch played on that 2006 state championship team. He was the tailback. And now he went on to USF, played some defense there, won some national titles with the Cougars.
Wow.
And coming back here to his alma mater as the D coordinator.
Oh, fantastic. Good for him. Brad, of course, played with the Sioux Falls Storm for a couple of years and enjoyed watching him mature as a football player. But great decisions and adjustments by that defensive line. As you look at that quarterback for the Unity Christian as Braden Bosma, coming in with 574 yards of passing. I don't know what you have him down tonight. 79 yards, really shutting him down, putting him under a lot of pressure. He's had to throw off balance, which he is very good at doing, but still not able to come up with the completions. Other than that first drive, when they started down and a tip ball interception changed everything for the Lions, and it's really kind of brought Unity Christian down.
Well, and half of those 79 yards came on that trick play, the halfback throwback pass, where they picked up 34 yards over the top. And credit the defensive line for putting the pressure on the quarterback, but the defensive backs for the Lions have been exceptional as well. They're a great coverage team. Linebackers and defensive backs, the Lions really know how to drop back in coverage and really cause some problems for throwing quarterbacks.
The Lions have at least 2 knockdowns, throwing on the left side, at least 3, maybe a third one or at least 2, but there might have been one on the other side also. But when you have a quarterback like Bosma and he throws a hard ball low, and you get those corners that are playing up, getting your hands up, getting those linemen to have their hands up, just creating a factor that the quarterback has to change trajectory of that pass. And Lions came up with at least 2 knockdowns in this series, in this first half. Shows just great defensive presence, and also the key thing about a defense, and what a lot of people don't realize, they always, they see the big tackle, they see the big hit, they see the big interception. The only way that you have those things happen is that if everybody is where they are supposed to be, if they are staying at home, if they are doing what they are supposed to be, because if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, that means that somebody else is going to be in a position to be successful as far as breaking up the pass or making an interception. And looking at the defense, very disciplined from what I've seen in this first half, that they're staying at home, doing what they're supposed to do, and that puts them in position to be successful.
Well, and another one of those things that we talk about with the defense is the troubles they have caused Braden Bosma at the quarterback position. Unity Christian is a run-first team. They want to run the ball, and they have a very talented tailback in Trevor Wieringa. He's averaging 4 yards a carry on the year. He's got over 100 carries for 400-plus yards on the season. The Lions have held him to just 7 carries for 20 yards in the first half, and they've held Unity to just 12 yards on the ground so far. So they have just been in the backfield causing problems, and they have completely eliminated the running game and forcing Unity Christian to have to throw that ball.
Catch-up football. And that's exactly what happened. You take away that element, then you have to start to press. You press yourself. You're going to be throwing when you maybe shouldn't be throwing. It's a downward spiral that can only continue. And if you're down 40-0, it's like, well, you go out there, I'm going to establish the run, I'm going to get some first downs. It's what you have to do, but it's not going to get you back in the game. So it's very difficult for a coach to do that because you want to try to get caught up quickly. And it's going to be tough to do for Unity tonight.
And we'll see what they have to do as they will start with the football as we start the second half. They won the opening toss and elected to defer. The Lions took the football from the get-go, and it has been all gas ever since. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a little bit closer look at some of those Lions stats from the first half, and we'll see what we can come up with for some adjustments that the Lions can possibly make going into the second half of play when we return to Central Lyon George Little Rock Lions football on the Lion Broadcast Network.
May your holidays sparkle with joy and excitement as the new year is upon us. On behalf of the entire staff of DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, we want to wish you God's peace and blessings as we reflect on this past year and eagerly anticipate the beginnings of the new year. Our prayer for you is for good health, happiness, and quality time with God's family and friends. Happy New Year from DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, Rock Rapids and Laverne.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
After a long day, deciding on dinner can be tough, but a few simple words can make everything better.
Pizza's here.
End your day the right way with pizza and chicken from the carry-out and delivery experts at your local Pizza Ranch.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body.
At Frontier Bank, we know you're busy with what really matters. That's why our Big Deal checking account was created to make banking work for you. While you're keeping up with life's daily transactions, your Big Deal checking account is earning you monthly rewards. Competitive rates, refunds on ATM fees, and more, with no minimum balance or monthly service fees required. And you can apply for a Big Deal account from anywhere in less than 10 minutes. Focus on what matters most. Bank with Frontier Bank. See a customer service representative for more information. Member FDIC.
May your holidays sparkle with joy and excitement as the new year is upon us. On behalf of the entire staff of DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, we want to wish you God's peace and blessings as we reflect on this past year and eagerly anticipate the beginnings of the new year. Our prayer for you is for good health, happiness, and quality time with God's family and friends. Happy New Year from DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, certified public accountants, Rock Rapids and Laverne.
Hazy? It is a little bit, but my glasses are worse.
Back at Dicknall Field here in Rock Rapids at the half. Central Lyon George Little Rock a 41-0 lead over Unity Christian. My name is Joel Viss. Glad to have you alongside me, the Silver Fox, Rich Rosty, coming back into the booth. And Rich, your return has been glorious. We're going to give you all the credit for the first half so far.
Thank you very much. You know, when I was doing the games 25 years ago when I was here, and the thing about it is people had always appreciated my signature call of Holy Help Me Hannah. And people often ask me, how did I ever come up with that? And actually I was mowing the lawn and I was trying to think of what can you say on the radio that would be kind of different or interesting. And I found out that, well, you can't say holy on the air. And holy cow had been used a lot. And I was thinking of it, holy help me Harriet, and I had several different names. I finally came up with Holy Help Me Hannah, and I used that all the rest of my career. Actually had it trademarked, and it was my words, and it was amazing. Wherever I was broadcasting, people enjoyed that. It was one thing, you never used it too much, but if it was done at the right time, and people really appreciate it, especially the home team. I found out that visiting teams, when they would hear me do it against them, they didn't like that call at all.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, and you know, another one of those interesting things you brought up at Quarterback Club the other day, your last game calling a Central Lyon George Little Rock football game, and it was in a state championship game, and Coach Curtis Eben was the tailback for that team. That was my senior year, and Coach Eben had a touchdown or a kickoff return for a touchdown in that game. That was your last Lion game before coming back here.
And now he's the head coach and is doing so very well. But, yeah, and when they had the football banquet that year, Toby Lorenzen was the coach, and he asked me to recreate that during that banquet. And, of course, I made it up however it was, but I wound up at the very end, Holy Help Me Hannah. And Curtis says that he actually has that recording, but he couldn't find it for the Quarterback Club the other night.
Well, he's going to have to do some digging and find it, and it definitely has been a great career for you, Rich, over the 41 years, and we're so proud from where you started to where you went to always call you one of our own, and we always like to call you a Lion.
Well, thank you very much, and I've got some purple blood running through me, purple and gold. But it has been an amazing ride for me to reach and be able to do some of the things that I've done. I'm in 2 Halls of Fame, in Broadcaster of the Year, different things like that. And a big reason was because there wasn't a lot of it in the infancy, so I was kind of the voice of the entire league, so people appreciated what I was doing. And it was my feeling in broadcasting the game was always give the credit where credit is due. Don't be a homer. Give whatever accolades that you can for different players. And that's how people enjoy broadcast, because they understand that this guy is for this team, but he's not putting us down.
Well, the Lions are getting set up to kick off here to start the second half of play. And usually in tradition, Rich, the Coach Lorenzen, even back then, when you get into a game like this, the starters will get one series, and then it's time to get in the other players. Those other guys that put in the work during the practice weeks all week long, they get their time to shine and get to come in. And you and I get to scramble working through the roster trying to make sure we find out who's all out there.
That's exactly right. Dick Null did that also. First series, third quarter was always way to start the second half.
Well, Spies kicks it off deep there, and the Lions wrap him up immediately. Van Ginkel, not much return room. He does get it across the 25 to the 26, and that is where Unity Christian will start.
And being at plus 35 on the lead, the clock rolls, 11:40, clock is counting, third quarter.
That'll make the clock or the quarters go extremely fast, as it will not stop on an incompletion. Single receivers off to each side. Bosma hands off. Now a failed handoff, and the Lions jump on it, and I do believe Bosma got to it. But getting in there in the backfield for the Lions right away, trying to create some havoc already. Gabe Schulte, once again, just about jumping on that fumble. Second down and 14 after the mishap on the exchange there between Bosma and Wieringa. And those are just killers out there, Rich. You're already in a battle out there, and you're way behind, and then just little things like that break down, and those can just crush you.
And it just is an avalanche to come in on top. You just can't stop it.
Bosma with a pass over the middle of the field, throws it behind his intended receiver, Bo Bile. Lion safety Graham Eben had the best shot at it, but it falls incomplete.
Bile, good-looking athlete. Tall kid, 6'5", 200 and some pounds, good lanky wide receiver. He has a future, just looking at the way he carries himself in the field. He's going to be playing football on Saturdays coming up.
Third down and long here. Twin receivers to the left side, single man to the right. Bosma in the shotgun. He'll hand off to Wieringa up the middle of the field. Wieringa breaks off some tackles down the sidelines. He goes, has the first down and more out to the 45-yard line, and a big gainer to keep the chains alive.
That was the first time that Wieringa was able to show his wares and be able to show his speed and his ability to get to the outside. Very positive thing for the Knights to have happen.
23-yard gain on the run there for Wieringa, doubling up his yardage in just one run. Fresh set of downs here for the Knights as they send twin receivers to the right side, this time single man to the top. They'll hand off again. Note rolling out right side. Heavy pressure in the backfield. Bosma keeps his feet, throws it down, and it's picked off by Graham Eben at the 50-yard line. And the Ball Hawks in the backfield, the Lion defensive backs, snag another one.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised pass by Bosma. He was under pressure. It is very difficult to teach a quarterback to go down and quit. But this is one time he just threw it up for grabs. Great job done by Eben to be able to get there and make the interception. Was that the second turnover?
Second interception of the night there for the Lions. Lions had 5 interceptions last Friday night against Cherokee. Here's that starting offense for their lone possession. They'll hand off to Eben right up the middle. He's wrapped up immediately, but falls forward for a couple. Graham Eben, a tough 2 yards on first down, sets up second down and 8. Clock on the move here, not stopping, and 8:32 to go. Obviously not working there on the top side of your screen, as the scoreboard on our screen is not working. It is actually 41-0 with 8:20 to go. Handoff here over the left side. No, Lutmer keeps. He cuts through a few tackles, gets it out across the 40, but a flag comes in from the backside official. Do believe it's going to be a hold against CLGLR, and probably the first miscue of the game for the Lions.
Clock is stopped for the penalty. And holding is going to be the call. Is going to back it up, setting up second down at about 18.
Second down and about 18. As you said there, they will march the ball back into Lion territory, back at the 44-yard line. And the Lions will reset up here again. Lions have that ability, though, to march their way out of this one. They can move it down the field. Trips right, single man left. Lutmer in the shotgun. Quick pass over the right side. He's got Putnam. Putnam straight up the field. He's wrapped up. Good coverage and good pursuit to the football, not giving Putnam much room to run.
That was very well done defensively by the Knights, keeping things in front of you. And that's one of the, when we talk about the fundamentals of football, shoulder square, line of scrimmage, keeping the play ahead of you, and that was done very well by that corner out to the left side. Successful defensive play.
Third down and long here for the Lions. They'll go empty backfield. 3 left, twins to the right side. Lutmer keeps on his own. Straight up the middle of the field. Quarterback keeper to the 45. Pickup of 6 yards. And the Lions will set up fourth down and about 6. And decision time here as they are in Knight territory.
Kobe Karhoff making a stop defensively as that linebacker, setting up fourth down and about 6. Midfield, you're up on top, 41-0.
Lions are going to go for it. Their punter, Caden Van Berkom, not in the ballgame, broke his ankle back in the week number 3 against West Sioux, so they will go for it here. Lutmer all alone in that shotgun. He'll keep it himself straight up the middle of the field. He's got the first down and more. Off to the races. He splits the D. He splits everybody. Zach Lutmer, 45 yards, puts 6 on the board. It's a Lion touchdown.
That one there is one of these here. That's a holy help me Hannah run, because he was hit at the line of scrimmage and basically just blew past that. And his speed just took it the rest of the 45 yards for the touchdown. I'm impressed with the way that kid runs the football.
Zach Lutmer, his 4th rushing touchdown of the ball game, puts the Lions on top 47-0. A 45-yarder on 4th down and 6. Lions set up in the swinging gate, and Lutmer will send the lineman around, and he'll go back to do the holding duties. Matthew Deeren, the sophomore kicker for the Lions, will step it off, and he'll await a low snap. Lutmer corralled it, and Deeren gets it up and gets it through. 6:32 to play in the third quarter. 48-0. Lions on top. We'll take a break and be back with more Lion football on the Lion Broadcast Network.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
Back at Dicknall Field here in Rock Rapids. 6:32 to play in the third quarter. Lions on top 48-0. A 45-yard Zach Lutmer touchdown run. 4th down and 6. Lutmer just going to go right up the middle, just looking for the first down. He breaks free and goes for the 6. Cooper Spees on to do the kicking duties here once again for the Lions. Spees will call it out here. He'll walk it off and give the ball a boot, a high end-over-end kick. and it is caught by Carter DeYoung, bringing it up the left side, wrapped up immediately, and brought down at about the 30-yard line. And that is where Unity Christian will take over. Clock on the move here again as the Lions with that big lead.
Next week, the Lions be taking on Sheldon Orbs down in Sheldon, and they'll finish up the season at home against Okoboji. That's going to be on the 15th, or check that, the 15th of October. Unity Christian, on the other hand, going to be taking on West Lyon, finishing up at home or on the road against Sheldon.
Lions second team defense in the ball game here as Unity Christian breaks the huddle. They'll hand off up the middle to Wieringa. He's wrapped up immediately. Nothing doing there. He is brought down in the backfield. Coming up there, Devin Viss in on the tackle, as well as Landon Weiler, the linebacker. Only a yard on the carry for Wieringa.
Clock continues to roll inside of 5:25 to play in the third.
Pistol formation here on 2nd down and 9. Handing off once again, Wieringa. Wieringa again blown up there. The defensive line just laying the lick. And Evan Kruger, the linebacker, coming through and making the hit on that one. Also in on that for the Lions, Alex Erickson.
All night long, the Lion defense has been limiting the key wide running back for the Knights in Wieringa and limiting him to one of his lowest outputs of the season. And that shows you just how well the Lions defense is playing.
3rd down and long here. Bosma's going to hand off again. Wieringa fighting through tackles there. He's wrapped up and only getting a couple. Weiler once again doing a great job of grabbing on, hanging on, and letting the rest of the defense come to help finish it off.
And setting up now, 4th down. Lions going to get the ball back. Good field position. 4:20 to play in this third quarter. 40-0, or check that, 48-0. The Lions up on top over Unity Christian.
Well, and you know, when the Lions send their second teamers out there, they have the same expectations from the coaching staff. As Tyler Grieve receives the front punt, he'll start working his way over the left side across the 30 is where he is brought down. But yeah, now that the second team offense will come in as well, Rich, and like I said, with the defense, the same thing. The coaching staff expects you to go in and perform just as if you were a first teamer. You have no less expectations because if you're on that field, we want you out there for a reason.
You know, and that's why the history and the tradition of Lion football here in Northwest Iowa has been so powerful and so good for such a very long time. You know, the Lions in 2008, they were undefeated, 13-0, and in 20 they were 11-1, state runner-up. Since 2006, they've only had 2 losing seasons, 90-42 overall. That's outstanding football.
High snap over Simon Konitschke's head. Konitschke just dives on it, but a big loss on 1st down. And the Lions will be set here 2nd down and forever. Going to be about a 10-yard loss back to the 20. So 2nd down and about 20. Konitschke in that shotgun formation. Twin receivers off to each side. Simon brings a man in motion. That is Johnson. They'll hand off to him on the right side. Jet sweep up the left side. Johnson fights through one tackle, out back, and picks up everything they had lost on the bad snap and a little bit more. 12 yards will set up 3rd down and 8.
I almost thought there was a face mask penalty with his head jerked down, but evidently they got him by the shoulder pads and brought him down.
3rd down and 7, so a good play there for the Lions. Give them a chance here on 3rd down to try and convert and keep the chains moving. Konitschke in the shotgun. He's got Johnson standing alongside of him, man in motion. They'll hand off to that motion man. That is Johnson again as he brings it up the field. Very close to the 40-yard line, down at about the 39. Pickup of 5 will set up 4th down, and the Lions will be forced to punt this one away.
Among others, Jacob Van Dong in on the stop defensively, 4th down and about 3.
Lions punt team coming in here to do the kicking duties. On to do the punting here. The second team punter for the Lions is Ryan Chase. Good field on it. They'll get the ball away. Nice spiraling punt will hit the ground at the 35. Take a Lion bounce. Picked up by the return man. Now brings it back out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. But a flag in the backfield there, possibly a block in the back, might negate everything they returned.
1:11 left to go in this third quarter. But that's how you build a team. That's how you build a dynasty. That's how you build a successful program, is by able to get in your other players on the field, get them some actual on-field experience, and that's what just perpetuates the success of a program.
Well, and it's one of those kids, these kids out there, they work exceptionally hard, and you see how good the first-teamers are, but that's because they're going against these guys in the practice field, and these practice guys got to take that beating each and every week, each and every day. So when it comes time for this, they deserve to be out there.
And you look how many, the sheer numbers of players for Central Lyon George Little Rock.
First down and 10 after the penalty, back at the 15-yard line. 3 receivers to the right side, back to pass. Looking there in the flat, ball is tipped and just about intercepted. Evan Kruger got the tip. Tyler Grieve just about had the pick. Grieve had an interception last Friday night against Cherokee and would have loved to add another.
No doubt about that, especially where it was, because there would have been some return on that pick.
Incomplete pass. Clock still on the move, though, with the running time. Second down and 10 for the Knights. They send twin receivers to the right side, single man to the left. They'll hand off right up the middle of the field. It's Wieringa. He is upended as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Going to pick up a couple on second down.
Probably the last play of the third quarter, as the clock's running down inside of 15 seconds. And Unity not in any hurry to run this one off.
5 seconds to go. Unity might try and snap it here. They will. Back to pass. Looking deep down the middle of the field. Bile over the top. And the ball falls incomplete. And that will bring an end to the third quarter of play. After 3 quarters, Central Lyon George Little Rock 48, Unity Christian nothing. We'll be back with the fourth quarter when we return to Lyon football on the Lyon Broadcast Network.
May your holidays sparkle with joy and excitement as the new year is upon us. On behalf of the entire staff of DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, Certified Public Accountants, we want to wish you God's peace and blessings as we reflect on this past year and eagerly anticipate the beginnings of the new year. Our prayer for you is for good health, happiness, and quality time with God's family and friends. Happy New Year from DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, Certified Public Accountants, Rock Rapids and Laverne.
Back in the fourth quarter here as we start. Unity Christian going to give the ball a kick. They'll boot it away. Grieve will field it at his own 45-yard line. Makes it back up to the midfield marker where he will be brought down. Lions will start with excellent starting field position once again. And Ethan joining me now in the booth. Ethan, your first ever Lion football game, and how's it going so far?
It's going really well. It's been great to be here, and I really appreciate being able to sit in the booth with you.
Oh, absolutely. We love having you up here. We like putting on a show for you. I don't do the show. It's the Zach Lutmer show out there, and now we're looking for them Lions second-teamers. What do we want to see out of these guys?
I'm not really sure.
Well, we obviously want to see if these guys can put a score on the board, right?
Yeah, true.
Simon Konitschke is going to hand off to Dorian Johnson over the left side. Johnson carries it out to the 50, where he is brought down after a gain of 1. Dorian is one of those guys. He played a little bit last year as a junior, now as a senior. He's a big-time scout team player for us, and he has been scout team player of the week twice, and we love to see him run the football because he's got a lot of energy. 2nd down and 9 coming up here for the Lions, taking their time getting the signals in here. And Ethan, the tough part here about this is our quarterback right now, Simon Konitschke. He's the guy who usually calls the plays in. He's the signaler, and now there's no signaler over there. I don't think Zach Lutmer knows how to send in a signal. They'll fake the hand, and Konitschke will take it left side. He's got positive yards. A flag will fly in the area of a hold on the backside there of this offense, and that should negate the 3-yard run by Konitschke. So, Ethan, not a football player, you're a hockey player, correct?
Yeah, I like to play with my friends every once in a while, of course during the winter when there's an ice skating rink up at the park.
Well, if you're watching these Lion defenders, you see how they hit? We need some checks into the boards this winter. That's how you got to play, tough and physical, just like these guys do. So the penalty is marked off here against the Lions. It is a holding penalty. They'll march it back to the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 19. Konitschke all alone in the backfield here, empty backfield, and it brings a man in motion. He'll hand off to that motion man. That's Isaiah Johnson over the right side. He just puts the head down and gets what he can and picks up 2, maybe 3 yards on the carry, but not much.
Oh, that was fantastic that you had Ethan on the air, talk to him about the game, and he's my buddy, and we hang out, and this has been our first trip on things like this, coming over here, and what a special night for me to have him along with me to enjoy being over here for Central Lyon, George Little Rock. And Joel, again, it's just been a pleasure that you invited me to come back and be a part of this broadcast.
Well, when we discussed this, we actually talked about this years ago. You and I discussed that maybe sometime we could get you back in the booth. And then in the off season, when it became a reality and it started getting more real that it was going to happen, not only was I excited when I started to bring it to the community and let some of those people that grew up listening to you, Rich, know that you were going to come back and you were going to come into the booth. They thought that it was exceptionally, so they are just as pleased to be having you here, and I am just as honored. As I said, now I'm the voice of the Lions after 17 years of being up here in the booth, but I grew up listening to you in the booth, and now it's my turn, so it's good to be here, and it's an honor to stand alongside of you.
Well, it's been a hoot and a half for me. Enjoyed it immensely, and another flag comes out on the return. But it's the same game. It's the same place. It's like nothing ever changed. It wasn't 41 years ago. This is just like it was 41 years ago. The uniforms, everything. I don't think we played Unity Christian. They didn't have football back then. But it's all the same. The people are here. It's a great tradition. Football Friday nights in Rock Rapids for the Central Lyon George Little Rock Lions. And I remember when Ken Roseberry was the head coach of George, and we would play them during the course of the season, the George Little Rock. And then there was a time, it was Boyden, Hull, George, Little Rock, and jokingly they would say, Little Boy George, if you remember that. They didn't like that, however.
I'll bet they didn't.
No. But that's all a part of the history of football in this part of the country.
Unity hands off to Wieringa. He carries it ahead. Big run there for him. He's got running room for about 8 yards. And, Rich, you talk about some of that stuff from the history, some of the past. But you mentioned tradition in there. And one of the mottos that we talk about here in this program, and when I was brought through it, and Coach Lorenzen was here, and now even into Coach Eben, we always discuss that tradition never graduates.
That's right.
That's one of our mottos here at CLGLR, and we keep that tradition going, and we've built a pretty good one. Deep throw down the sidelines, looking for everything and can't find anything as Bosma throws it away.
You know, that's one of the keys where coaching back in Dick Null's era, he included young people, the kids, the elementary kids, to be a part of Central Lyon football in some way or another. And that's where you build that tradition, is because those kids dream of becoming those seniors and juniors and playing for the Lions.
Well, and you got to see a little bit of that as Bosma rolls right side. He's got the first down, breaking to the sidelines, breaks through one tackle, and finally wrapped up after a big gain. Takes it down to the 30 for a pickup of 12. And we talk about bringing the kids in and utilize them. We saw a little bit of that tonight. The flag football team, they're coached by the varsity players on Saturday mornings around here. And they get to lead the team onto the field. At halftime, we got to recognize the middle school football team and incorporating them young kids into this game. We have junior captains that get to go out for the coin toss. We got the ball boys on the sidelines. And Friday mornings, there's always 4 football players that go up into the elementary, and they hand out their football jersey for the day. And a kid gets to wear a varsity jersey all day long at school. So the Lions pick up a fumble here after Unity Christian drops it on the floor. And the bend but don't break defense. And Coach Lupkus has got to like that. Anytime your defense coordinator is out there, he doesn't care who's out there. If there's a goose egg on the board, he wants it to stay there.
There's no doubt about it. 6:12 left to play in this fourth quarter. Up on top, the Lions are 48-0.
Well, the Lions looking as if they will even their record at 3-3, move to 2-1 in district play. Unity will drop to 4-2 overall and to 2-1. They'll get their first blemish on the mark in district play. Konitschke will hand off right up the middle to Dorian Johnson. Johnson pushes the pile ahead for a couple. Clock on the move. It has moved very fast here in the second half as the Lions jumped out to a 41-0 lead at the half. And have just been on cruise control here in the second half and have done a outstanding job. And the one good thing about this here is in this second half there have been a few of those hiccups. Mm-hmm. And when you win a game 48-0, you go, what can we teach these kids next week? What can we work on? So it's nice to have a few hiccups here in the second half and things that we can point out that we can possibly do better. Konitschke calls it out, back to pass, looking left side, throws out in the flat, has his man. Up the field they go with Johnson. He's got first down yardage, and the Lions will move the chains. And with just under 5 minutes to play in the game, a first down for CLGLR. They should be able to burn at least 3 minutes off the clock here and almost wash it out.
Keep the ball on the ground. It doesn't matter, actually, if you're going to throw a pass incomplete, it's not going to stop the clock anyway. But just keep this chains moving. Got a first down here. They're standing around waiting in the huddle. No hurry from the sidelines getting the play. That's just good because you don't want to rub it into the faces of the opposing team.
Konitschke calls it out of that pistol formation. Hands off Dorian Johnson. Beats off the first man. Bounces ahead for a tough yard there. But that's good tough running just to get positive gain.
When you talk about what do you take away from this game, everything worked, everything was right. But what you do is you take what worked well and point out why it worked well. Because sometimes a play is run and it works well and it's like, that was great. But it's why it worked well, because you made the right step at the right time. It's why you had your shoulders positioned the right way. That's how you actually build when you show something that works well, because a lot of times when a player does it, he doesn't feel how he did it.
And like you said, that's great too. That's a great point because a lot of people feel that all football coaches do is yell and scream and put you down, and they point out all the things you do wrong. Like you said, in that point, in a game like this, if you can go through and show high praise and point out what the good things that these kids do, the kids can learn from getting a pat on the back. And kids, especially high school kids, really do appreciate that, and that will build them and make them want to play harder next week.
Oh, there's no doubt. No doubt.
Lions got another first down after Dorian Johnson's run. Flags will fly here, early motion on the Lions, as the clock will stop on the penalty right at the 3-minute mark. And the Lions will back up 5 yards, and we'll get another shot at it.
You know, you talk about learning. I played high school, little bitty town in Minnesota. Went to junior college at Wilmer. Then I walked on at the University of Minnesota. I was a defensive lineman at junior college. I walked on as an offensive guard. because of my size. I was 6 foot 230. And I'll never forget the very first time that we had one-on-one blocking and tackling. I'll tell you about that in just a moment.
Konitschke calls it out, brings his man in motion. They will fake the hand to him. Konitschke takes it left side. He's got running room down the sidelines and up the field. He goes into night territory down to the 41-yard line. Big gainer for Simon Konitschke, 19 yards on the carry.
But I was lined up across from a guy by the name of Keith Simons, wound up playing 4 years in the NFL. And my job was to block him for the running back behind me. And the coach said, Hut. And my first thought was, that is the prettiest blue I have ever seen in my life. And I'm just marveling at that. And all of a sudden, this shadow comes over my head. I'm laying on my back, knocked out. And the coach says to me, hell's fire, son, you're supposed to be blocking him. Welcome to the Big Ten.
Konitschke, another fake, takes it himself inside down to the 35. Another tough run of 6. And when you said blue, I thought you were going to tell me you're looking up at the sky. But back then, you were playing in a dome with the Gophers. So
no, we were still outside.
Were you outside yet?
You're the old Memorial Stadium.
Sure.
That was back in the 70s, 74. But it was the sky because I was laying flat on my back because in one blow, Keith Simons had put me and knocked me out, and I was laying out straight out back. But the thing about it is, from that bad thing, that's when you learn how to do it the right way. And that's what we're talking about as far as the Lions are concerned, getting these kids out, the younger kids, the underclassmen, getting them a chance to make plays, and then for them to see themselves on film, and that's what's going to improve them as they progress through the grades.
Well, Isaiah Johnson takes it over the right side there for 2 yards. They're down to the 33. Clock dips below a minute to play. Just a few more plays here will need to be run, maybe just one here as the Lions will work the play clock and should only need to run one more play, and they should be able to run it out. Well, Rich, as we close out this game here, 48-0, the Lions going to move on to a victory over Unity Christian. Once again, I can't thank you enough for agreeing to come on here. It is a dream come true, and it has been a pleasure as a Lion fan, as a Lion broadcaster, and it has just been absolutely exceptional to have you up here in the booth.
It has been my absolute pleasure, Joel, and to come back over here and broadcast with you and to be a part of this again. And like I said, it's like no time had passed. Everything just has come back. It's the same colors. It's the same, and a lot of times, the same result, a big win for the Lions. But thank you for including me in this. I've enjoyed it immensely. Thank you for having me over for the Quarterback Club. Great to see so many friends of mine from years past. And thank you for having Ethan on the air for a while. That was fantastic. And he's going to take some great memories back with him tonight.
Well, the Lions don't need to even snap the ball. They'll shake some hands. The clock will run out. And the Lions are victorious here tonight, 48-0 over Unity Christian. We'll take a break and come back and wrap things up from Dicknall Field here in Rock Rapids. Central Lyon, George Little Rock winners over Unity, 48-0. You're watching Lion football on the Lion Broadcast Network.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
May your holidays sparkle with joy and excitement as the new year is upon us. On behalf of the entire staff of DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, Certified Public Accountants, we want to wish you God's peace and blessings as we reflect on this past year and eagerly anticipate the beginnings of the new year. Our prayer for you is for good health, happiness, and quality time with God's family and friends. Happy New Year from DeNoble, Austin & Company PC, Certified Public Accountants, Rock Rapids and Laverne.
After a long day, deciding on dinner can be tough, but a few simple words can make everything better.
Pizza's here.
End your day the right way with pizza and chicken from the carryout and delivery experts at your local Pizza Ranch.
Cool.
Well, we're back here at Dicknall Field in Rock Rapids. Joel Viss alongside me, Rich Rosti, and the Lions victorious 48-0 tonight over Unity Christian. Lions improved to 3-3 on the season, 2-1 in District 1 play. Unity Christian drops to 4-2 and 2-1 in district play, and the Lions move themselves up in the standings of Class 2A District 1 and hopefully put themselves in position to make their way into the playoffs and can start thinking about a fresh new season where those records all get erased.
You know, that's the thing about it. Had some struggles early in the season, playing really good football from what I've seen, especially the last two games, Joel. And the setting up are going to be taking on Sheldon, and who's the other team that Lions are going to be playing?
Okoboji,
who's had some struggles this season. So they are in a position to win out and get themselves in a playoff spot. And then once you get to that point, it doesn't matter what's happened in the past because you can actually, like you said, it's the second season. They can get things started. And at that point, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, the Lions coming out here. They've got the fans on the field, the student section out there joining the Lion players in the huddle. And once again, another blast from the past. Rich, you remember it, the I Love Football chant. One of those things that never changes around here. Those Lion players, win or lose, you get the chant in the end zone.
It's like the alma mater for Central Lyon George Little Rock football.
Well, the Lions victorious here tonight, and a special night here for Central Lyon George Little Rock. And we will go on the road next Friday night. Join us here right back on the broadcast network as we will be live from Sheldon for Friday night football again as the Lions look to continue their run towards the playoffs and get set up for the end of the season. Remember, coming up tomorrow night here on the Central Lyon Broadcast Network, the High School Pops concert will be on at 7:30. Next Thursday, we'll have varsity volleyball versus Sibley Ocheyedan at 6:50. Those things yet to come in the next week, and as well next Friday, that football game against Sheldon. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be told when we have things coming up. We'll make sure we send you a message, let you know when we have live broadcasts coming your way. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. And absolutely, we can't say thank you enough to the fine sponsors that make this broadcast possible. Those great sponsors include Avera Health, Frontier Bank, Pizza Ranch, DeNoble Austin & Company PC, Sanford Health, Premier Bank, and the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company. Those great sponsors are the reason we're able to come up here in the booth. Please patronize those sponsors you saw throughout this broadcast. If nothing else, stop in there and tell them thank you for their support of Lion Athletics.
You know, when you talk about playing down at Sheldon, for the first many years that I did Central Lyon football, Sheldon was not in the conference. It was a different class. And the first time we go down to Sheldon, and I get in the booth, and I finally go up to somebody, and I said, I have to ask you, what is an Orb? And he looks at me like, where are you from? Well, I grew up in Minnesota, so it takes me longer anyway to figure things out. Orange and black. Orange and black. So I had to ask what Orb stood for, and now it made total sense. But anyway, when I coming over here, I was thinking all these different things happened over the course of the years that I did these games, and not all of them revolved around intelligence on my part. But I did find out what Orb stood for.
Well, there you go. You can't say that you didn't learn at least something.
I learned something, yes.
Well, the Lions victorious here tonight, and we are once again grateful and glad to have you along here to Rich tonight, and can't thank you enough. We look forward to talking to you again, and know that you're always welcome whenever you want to come back.
Joel, thank you very much. Appreciate it so much.
That'll do it for our coverage here tonight. Lions victorious 48-0 over Unity Christian. Thank you to all of you listening. For Rich Rosti, I'm Joel Viss. Have a great night, everybody.